The International Motorsports Veterans is back for race 4 of the season, live from Watkins Glen, located in upstate New York. Formerly home of the Formula One United States Grand Prix, this crazy racetrack has hosted several different motorsports such as IMSA and NASCAR. And now 40 of the world's greatest drivers are getting ready to take on this 2.45 mile, 8-turn road course. But before we get started, we have a breaking news story. John Force, the driver of the 04 car, was injured in a pretty bad crash during the NHRA Virginia Nationals back in June, so he will not be competing in today's race. Instead, Jan Magnussen will be filling in for Force and driving the 04 for the time being. Magnussen will still be earning points for Force though. He has a lot of experience in sports car racing, competing in several major events like the 24 Hours of Daytona and the 24 Hours of Le Mans. And he's also the father of Formula One driver Kevin Magnussen. So hopefully Jan Magnussen does pretty well in his IMV debut. And we will continue to send prayers to John Force and pray that he has a nice and speedy recovery and that he gets back to racing pretty soon. But now, it's time to start the race. Here's the command to fire engines. Drivers, start your engines! The engines have roared to life, so let's look at the starting lineup for today's race. Tony Smoke Stewart puts himself on pole, and Garth Tander in the 2 car starts second. And then row 2, we got Patrick Carpentier and Sammy Swindell. And then the row after that, row 3, you'll find Catherine Legge alongside Jason Plato, and then Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Charlotte Roval winner Mark Webber in row 4. And then completing the top 10 is Paul the Dude Morris and Fernando Alonso in row 5. Then behind them in row 6, it's Craig Lowndes and Jenson Button. And then row 7, you'll find Dario Franchitti and Greg Biffle. Row 8, we got Kevin Harvick alongside Juan Pablo Montoya, who recently made his return to NASCAR at this track not too long ago. And then row 9, we got Jacques Villeneuve and COTA winner Sam Hornish Jr. Jan Magnussen filling in for the injured John Force will start 19th. And then completing the top 20 in the number 15 is Sebastian Bourdais. Row 11, we got Robbie Gordon alongside Rubens Barrichello. And then row 12, we got a couple of IndyCar legends, Elio Castroneves and points leader Tony Kanaan. Steve the King Kinzer and Valentino Rossi make up row 13. And then in row 14, we got Jimmy Johnson and Frank Kimmel. Completing the top 30 in row 15 are 4-time Watkins Glen winner Jeff Gordon and Scott Dixon. Then behind them in row 16 are Russell Ingall and Tom Cornell. Then the row after that, you'll find Kurt Busch and our most recent winner, Alex Tagliani. And then Doug Kalitta, who had that nasty barrel roll in our most recent race at Daytona, alongside Kimi Räikkönen. Then the final 2 rows consist of Scott Pruitt and Matt Kenseth in row 19. And then in row 20, we got Felipe Massa and Scott Sharp, who crashed in his qualifying run. Check out what happened to him. So he was making his way through the S's, and then he lost control and backed into the wall. And then he spun back around and then stopped in the grass. Here's another angle. Pretty significant hit into that guardrail. And yes, I know that angle wasn't the best one. Here's a better one. There you see Sharp making it through the S's and then loses control. Bam! Into the Armco he goes. This is the second consecutive race where we've had a crash in qualifying. Mark Webber slammed the outside wall while qualifying for Daytona. And now Scott Sharp crashes while qualifying for Watkins Glen. And that is why he will be starting at the back of the pack for today's race. Meanwhile, Tony Stewart in the 14 is on pole as the field makes their way through turn 7. The pace car going to turn on to pit road right after the field makes their way through turn 8. Stewart, an 8-time road course winner in the NASCAR Cup Series, 5 of those here at Watkins Glen. He is one of the best road racers that NASCAR has ever seen. His final win came on the road course at Sonoma back in 2016, as there you see the pace car pulling into the pits. We're getting ready to start this race, a little bit of a stack up back in the pack, but that's not going to stop the flagman from waving the green flag in the air as the International Motorsports Veterans is underway at the Glen. The 2 of Garth Tander gets a pretty big bump from Sammy Swindell as they head into turn 1, and now Tander's going to clear Stewart for the lead as they head into the S's. And it looks like we got problems for the 9 of Scott Dixon. He's slow coming out of turn 1. We're not sure what's wrong with the IndyCar champion as he started 30th but is now at the back of the pack. Meanwhile, back up front, Tander continues to lead as Sammy Swindell has taken over second, as Tony Stewart, our pole sitter, has fell back to fourth, and he might lose fourth position to Mark Webber. And it looks like he will. Tony Stewart from first to fifth. As now Sammy Swindell has taken the lead as they head through the bus stop. Now here they go through the carousel for the first time today. Swindell, the dirt racing legend, showing some muscle early on the road course, as he started fourth and is already your new leader. As we've already had 3 different leaders on the first lap. Tony Stewart led the field to the green, then Garth Tanner took over the lead, and then Swindell took the lead from Tanner. Now Tanner trying to reclaim the lead from Swindell, trying to lead the first lap of the race. But Swindell is going to hold him off as they head into turn 8. As here they come onto the front stretch underneath the pedestrian bridge. Sammy Swindell is going to lead the first lap here at Watkins Glen. We wouldn't have expected him to be your leader at Watkins Glen, as he's a dirt track ace. And now into turn 1, they call this corner the 90 because it's like a 90-degree angle, and the field makes their way through the 90 pretty well. As behind the top 3, it looks like the 30 of Patrick Carpentier, that purple car, is going to clear Mark Webber for fourth. As the field makes their way through the S's, it's Swindell first, Tanner second, Jason Plato running in third. So we got a couple of bright blue cars in the podium, as Tony Stewart in the 14 has fallen outside of the top 5. He is now side by side for 7th with the 22 of Jensen Button. Like I said, Stewart started on pole, but here comes Tanner with a good run through the bus stop. It looks like he's going to reclaim the lead from Sammy Swindell, move Tanner into the first position. As we saw a couple of cars go way too wide while exiting the bus stop. It looked like one of them was Jimmy Johnson in the 48. The other one was a yellow car. I believe it was the 3 of Elio Castroneves. Let's have a look at what happened. So they're heading through the bus stop. Oh, the 3 of Castroneves ran Johnson off the road, and then they get into the wall. So both Castroneves and Johnson have fallen to the back of the pack, and they even got some damage in that little incident. Meanwhile, Tanner in the 2 continues to lead. Here comes Jason Plato underneath Patrick Carpentier for third. Fernando Alonso is going along with them. And it looks like car number 2 is going to lead lap number 2. And the 01 of Swindell led the first lap. And the reason why there's not a number 1 car in the field is because the number 1 is reserved for the defending champion. And since this is the first season for the IMV, there is no need for a number 1 car. So whoever wins the championship this season will drive the number 1 in Season 2, as Fernando Alonso has taken over third from Jason Plato. Now he's trying to chase down Sammy Swindell and Garth Tander as the leaders exit the S's and head on to the back straightaway. The field is mostly a single file train. Now here comes Sammy Swindell down to the inside, trying to take the lead away from Garth Tander. Fernando Alonso also going down low, as well as the 99 of Jason Plato. As Slammin' Sammy's going to have a strong run through the bus stop, and he's going to clear Tander for the lead. He reclaims the lead from the 2 car as they head through the carousel. As so far on every single lap in this race, we've seen a lead change in the bus stop. As Sammy Swindell took the lead away from Tander on lap 1, and then Tander took the lead away from Swindell on lap 2. And now on lap 3, Swindell has reclaimed the lead from Tander as Jensen Button goes down low, and so does Garth Tander. Does he have a run at the lead? It doesn't look like it, but here comes the 41 of Fernando Alonso, as he's going to go down the inside and try to take second away from the 2 car as Swindell makes his way out of turn 8. And Fernando Alonso and Garth Tander are still side by side for second. Right behind him as Swindell is going to lead his second lap of the race. Jason Plato is trying to join in on the battle for second, but it looks like Alonso has the nose ahead over Tander as they head into the 90. As we got some pretty good battles right behind our leader. Like I said, Fernando Alonso side by side with Garth Tander. Now Alonso has cleared Tander for second, and now he's trying to challenge Swindell for the lead as Mark Webber is trying to get around Tander for third. But Tander gets a good run and he clears the 71. Now Mark Webber is side by side with Jason Plato for fourth. Well, was side by side with fourth. Here comes Fernando Alonso down to the inside. We've seen this happen on every single lap so far. The second place driver going down to the inside, down the backstretch, and then getting a huge run through the bus stop and taking the lead away from the leader as Fernando Alonso does just that, as he becomes our 4th different leader on lap 4 of the race. As the only driver to have led and not led a lap so far today is Tony Stewart. He has fallen back to the 10th position after starting on pole. Now here comes Tander trying to challenge Swindell for second. Mark Webber doing so as well. But Weber's going to tuck in behind the 01 of Swindell as Tanner's trying to go to the outside. But Tanner loses a bit of ground as he's now side by side for third with the 71 of Mark Webber. But now Tanner's going to gain some ground as he gets to the 01 of Swindell. But the 01 is going to clear Tanner and hang on to second. Now Tanner's side by side for third with Webber, and we got a spin in the back. That's the 97 of Kurt Busch. And he's going to bring out our first caution as we wrap up lap 4. Kurt Busch has won at this track in what is now the NASCAR Xfinity Series, but his brother Kyle has won here in the Cup Series twice, last doing so in 2013. Let's have a look at what happened to the elder Busch brother. So they're coming out of turn 8, and it looks like he got clipped by the 17 of Matt Kenseth. And once upon a time, Kenseth and Busch were NASCAR teammates at Roush Fenway Racing, now RFK Racing, as Busch was able to straighten out after being parked at a bad angle. One more look here. Yeah, Kenseth definitely got into the back of Kurt Busch, and that spun him around. And we're going to be right back. Do not go anywhere. This race is brought to you by Celsius, the official energy drink of the International Motorsports veterans. Celsius, live fit. Also brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Chipotle, for real. We are back live at Watkins Glen International. We're wrapping up our first caution on lap 4, and the reason for the caution is Kurt Busch's spin coming out of turn 8 near the entrance to pit road. The Outlaw is still in the race, but he's at the back of the pack as Mark Webber has taken the lead away from Fernando Alonso. This is because the field actually made pit stops under caution and Mark Webber stayed out, so his tires aren't as fresh as the rest of the fields as the pace car makes that hard right turn on the pit road. Mark Webber is your leader. He won the season opener at the Charlotte Roval. Can he get another win? It's too early to tell. But anyways, the field heads to the green flag and we're back underway at the Glen. Jason Plato in the 99 goes down to the inside trying to make it underneath the 41 of Fernando Alonso as they head into turn 1. Now he's side by side with the Spaniard. The two-time British Touring Car champion is trying to take second away from the two-time Formula 1 champion as he's going to do it. Now he's trying to challenge Mark Webber for the lead. As behind the top two, Sammy Swindell in the 01 tried to get around Fernando Alonso for third, but he tucks in right behind the 41. Now, Jason Plato trying to take the lead away from the 71 of Webber. He goes down to the inside. We've seen this a lot in this race as the second place driver gets a good run coming out of the S's and takes them side by side for the lead, heading into the bus stop and eventually takes the lead. As it looks like Jason Plato is going to do that as they exit the bus stop. And there he goes. New leader, the 99 of Jason Plato. Now Sammy Swindell trying to catch up to the 71 of Mark Webber and take second away from the Formula 1 driver. Webber is also the 2015 World Endurance Championship champion, as he won that title driving for Porsche with co-drivers Timo Bernhard and Brendan Hartley. Hartley had a short stint in F1 from 2017 to 2018 driving for Toro Rosso, but he didn't do very well, so he decided to go back to the World Endurance Championship. As now Webber is side by side for second with Sammy Swindell. He's on the inside, Swindell's on the outside, and they're still side by side for second as they exit turn 8. And it looks like Webber is going to clear the 01 as they head down the front straightaway. He hasn't quite cleared the 01 yet as Swindell's still on his quarter panel, but I still think he's got a good chance of clearing him as they head into turn 1. Oh, he's still right there. Swindell's got a bit of a run, but Webber gets an even better run as they head into the S's. He clears the 01 for second, and Swindell's going to fall back down to fourth and possibly fifth as here comes the 22 of Jenson Button on his outside. Not outside, inside, excuse me, as it looks like the 01 has cleared the 22 for fourth. As the field makes their way out of the S's onto the back straightaway. What a run by Fernando Alonso and Mark Webber, as they're going to go down to the inside and take it side by side heading into the bus stop. Is Jason Plato going to lose the lead and possibly third? He loses the lead to Mark Webber as the 71 reclaims the lead, but Plato's going to hang on to second as the Aussie's going to lead them down in the carousel. But here comes Jenson Button side by side for fourth with Sammy Swindell. He goes down to the inside as the top three are single file. Kevin Harvick in the 4 car has joined in on this battle. He's in sixth right behind Button and Swindell. Now here comes Plato down to the outside trying to take that lead away from Webber, but Webber has a strong turn into turn 7. And meanwhile, Sammy Swindell is trying to take third away from Fernando Alonso. He's got Kevin Harvick in the 4 right behind him. Harvick, a recent retiree from the NASCAR Cup Series after a 22-year-long career in that series. And ever since his retirement from racing, he's been doing some commentary for NASCAR on Fox, as he's going to be passed by another former NASCAR driver, Dale Earnhardt Jr., as Harvick falls down to 7th. Harvick actually took over for Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s late father, Dale Earnhardt, after he passed away in that crash at Daytona back in 2001. But anyways, the 99 of Plato is right behind the 71 of Weber. Jenson Button is trying to take 3rd away from Fernando Alonso. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has entered the top 5, as Jr. was able to pass the 01 of Swindell for 5th. And now Jr. goes down to the inside, trying to take both 4th and 3rd away from Button and Alonso. Is he going to be able to do it as they head into the bus stop? Here comes the 99 of Plato, and for the first time it looks like we're not going to see a lead change in the bus stop, as Weber is going to hang on to that first position, as the 22 of Jenson Button has cleared the 41 of Alonso for 3rd, and Dale Jr. has also passed the 41, so Alonso's down to 5th. And he might even lose that position to Sammy Swindell. But it looks like the 41's going to hang on to the 5th position, as I thought the 01 was going to pass him in the carousel. As here they come into turn 7. Will Jason Plato try to get around the 71? He is right on the bumper of Mark Webber, as the 99 is tailgating him heading into turn 8. Is he going to try to do the slide job and take the lead away from him? And we got a crash. That's the 7 of Robbie Gordon. The caution is out for the 2nd time today. It looks like the 7 spun out and got into the tire barriers as he was exiting turn 7. We're going to have a look at a replay of what happened to the other Gordon. So they were coming out of turn 7, and it looks like the 7 of Gordon came down on Rubens Barrichello. A lucky number and an unlucky number made contact, and this is a result as Gordon spins, and he came across the 72 of Sam Hornish Jr., a COTA winner. Then Gordon gets into the tire barrier and into the Armco barrier. So that's how he sustained that damage in this accident. But luckily it's not enough to knock him out of the race, as this man can drive anything. He's competed in NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA. He's also competed in stadium super trucks and off-road racing. So Robbie's pretty much a man of multiple genres. As here's another look at this crash. Yeah, it's a pretty significant hit into that guardrail. And like I said, he's luckily able to continue in this race, but he'll have to go to the back, as it looks like the 13 of Barrichello accidentally turned the 7 as he came across the 72 of Hornish, as he appears to have scraped the front end of the 72. So Robbie Gordon's day takes a turn for the worse as he crashes here at the Glen. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back to the Glen. We're wrapping up our 2nd caution, and this one is for Robbie Gordon spinning out of turn 7 off the bumper of Rubens Barrichello and making contact with the tire barrier. And as you see, another lead change has happened under caution. Jenson Button is your new leader, as he beat Mark Webber on the race off pit road. And speaking of pit road, the pace car's getting ready to turn onto there, and we're getting ready to restart with 8 laps to go. As the field makes their way through turn 8, the pace car merges onto pit road. Jenson Button is your new leader, followed by Mark Webber, Jason Plato, Sammy Swindell, and Dale Earnhardt Jr., completing the top 5 as the field is heading towards the green flag. It's back in the air. We're back underway at the Glen. Plato and Swindell go down to the inside as they approach turn 1. Jason Plato trying to catch up to the 71 of Webber, and he's going to take him side by side for 2nd. Oh, the 4 of Harvick sideways, as it looks like he made contact with Catherine Legg, and he's able to save it. So is the 6 of Legg. Now side by side for the lead. Jason Plato goes down to the inside of Button through the S's. Swindell and Webber are side by side for 3rd, but we got a battle for the lead, y'all. And Dale Jr. is ready to pounce if something happens between the 01 and the 71. But the 99 is going to try to clear the 22 as they head into the bus stop, as Dale Jr. heads down to the inside, seeing if he can get around the 71 of Webber. As through the bus stop, Jason Plato is going to clear Button for the lead, and Sammy Swindell is going to move into 3rd. Now, Dale Jr. side by side with Mark Webber, and it looks like Jr. is going to clear the 71 and move up into 4th. Now Webber's in jeopardy of losing 5th to Fernando Alonso, as the 41's had a strong car all day, as Webber's going down to the outside. And also going down to the outside is Jenson Button. He's got a strong run heading into 7, but it looks like the 99 of Plato is going to pull away, and Sammy Swindell is going to try to take him side by side for 2nd. Actually, it doesn't look like it, as Swindell is trying to get around that 22, but he can't. But now, the 01 of Slam and Sammy is going to try to get a run down the front stretch, but he tucks in behind the 22 of Button. Now he's going down to the inside. trying to take him side by side for second as they head into the 90. He's got a strong run, and he gets to the side of the 22 of Button. Now he's going to clear him for second. Now he's going to go for the lead and try to take that position away from Jason Plato. As here comes Junior with a good run, trying to get around the 22 of Button for third. But the field's going to become a single file train heading through the S's, as Jason Plato is still your leader as they come out of the S's. Now here comes Swindell down to the inside, getting a strong run down the backstretch. He's going to try to take him side by side through the bus stop. Dale Jr. also on the inside trying to pass Button for third. And it looks like Sammy Swindell is going to clear Plato for the lead. Now Jr. trying to clear Button for third as he's still side by side with the 22. There's the pace car. But Sammy Swindell has taken the lead once again here at the Glen, as it looks like Junior is going to clear the 22 of Button. Actually, never mind. He hasn't cleared the 22 yet, as he's still side by side with the 2009 F1 champion. Jenson Button actually made some starts in the NASCAR Cup Series driving for Rick Ware Racing on the road courses last year. And now he's racing with a driver who's had plenty of years of NASCAR experience. A driver whose father is a 7-time NASCAR Cup Series champion and a 76-time winner. Now it looks like Junior has cleared Button as they head onto the front straightaway. As now we have 6 laps to go. Is Jason Plato going to try to get around the 01 of Swindell as they head into the 90? Doesn't look like it. But here comes the 41 of Alonso, trying to take him side by side for third with Dale Jr. as they head into the S's. And the 41's going to clear the 8. As I said, the 41 has a strong car. He was fastest in practice, and now he's one of the fastest ones on the track. He's trying to chase down Jason Plato and Sammy Swindell. Now the 30 of Patrick Carpanier is side by side for fourth with Jenson Button, as it looks like the driver who restarted first is going to lose yet another position, as here comes Jason Plato trying to reclaim the lead from the 01 of Swindell, heading through the bus stop, and it looks like yet another lead change is going to occur. And it also looks like the 30 of Carpanier might be able to clear the 22 of Button and move himself into the top 5 as they head through the carousel. Now Alonso, he tried to go underneath the 01 of Swindell for second, but the field is straightening out into a single file train. Now Paul Morris in the 67 is going down to the outside. Looks like he's going to try to get around the 71 of Weber, but then he tucks in behind the 71. But Swindell's got a good run coming out of turn 7. He's on the bumper of the 99. But here comes Fernando Alonso as well. But he can't get around Salmon Slammies for some reason. But who would have thought that a 68-year-old dirt racing legend and a 3-time World of Outlaws champion would be having this good of a run on a road course? As now he goes down to the inside trying to take the lead away from Jason Plato heading into turn 1. He's going to get there, possibly. But will he be able to clear the 99 as they head into the S's? Yes, he will. Another lead change as Sammy Swindell continues to fight with Plato for the first position. Dale Jr. moves himself into third as he gets around Alonso. And Jenson Button makes his way around the 30 of Carpanier now as they head on the backstretch. Is Jason Plato going to get another good run and try to take the lead away? But here comes Dale Jr. for second. Plato goes up to block. And now Alonso is going down low. What a great race we've had here at the Glen, as here comes Jason Plato trying to take the lead away from Swindell once again, and he's going to do it. Like I said, we've had a great race so far with a ton of passing and a ton of jostling for position. As now Dale Jr. is trying to take second away from Swindell, but he can't quite do it as they exit the carousel. Jason Plato continues to lead. Now here comes Jr. down to the outside. Is he going to be able to make his way around Swindell as they head into turn 7? Let's find out. He tries to get to the quarter panel of the 01. He's trying to take him side by side. But now the 01 is pulling into the pits as we got some drivers making pit stops late in the race, as it looks like the 01 is low on fuel. As when the drivers made pit stops earlier in this race, they only got tires. And some of the drivers did get fuel though, but as for the ones who didn't, they're on pit road right now trying to refuel to finish the race. As we see the 01 of Sammy Swindell doing that along with Catherine Legg and Tony Stewart. Meanwhile, we got 4 to go in the race. Jason Plato continues to lead. Dale Jr. is up to second, and Plato's looking strong through this section of the track, as Patrick Carpanier and Fernando Alonso are side by side for 4th, and it looks like Carpanier is going to take that position away from the F1 driver, as Dale Jr. is in 2nd and Jenson Button is in 3rd. Now here comes Button trying to go underneath Dale Jr. for 2nd, but Jr. goes up to block him. Now They're heading towards the bus stop. Is Junior going to be able to take the lead away from Plato, as this is where we've seen most of our lead changes, and it looks like he will not, as that 99 car looked extraordinarily strong through that pair of corners. However, Plato does not have much fuel left in his tank, but will he be able to hang on? Will the fuel be able to last so Jason Plato can get his first win of the season? This race is slowly becoming a fuel mileage race, as we saw Sammy Swindell pull into the pits after having a great run, as he was pretty low on fuel. And who's going to pull into the pits this time? As they head into turn 8, Plato's still your leader. It looks like Fernando Alonso is going to pull into the pit road. He's low on fuel, as one of the strongest cars all day is going to pull into the pits, because like I said, he's low on fuel, so he's going to refill. As now we're going to have 3 laps to go. Jason Plato in the 99 still trying to hang on and get the win, as he's going to lead him down into turn 1. Dale Jr. goes down to the inside for second, trying to take that position away from Jenson Button, as he's going to do that. Now Jr.'s going for the lead as he goes down to the inside of Jason Plato, side by side for the lead, as one of NASCAR's all-time fan favorites is trying to get a win at the Glen. He's won here in the Busch Series, but he's never won here in Cup, as Junior has never had that much success on road courses. Now he's your leader. And here comes Jenson Button and Patrick Carpane. It looks like they're going to get around the 99 of Plato. As they head through the bus stop, it looks like the 99 is going to go from 1st to 4th, as we got word that Plato is possibly low on fuel. But as for Dale Jr., Jenson Button, and Patrick Carpane, they are to the good. So our top 3 has a shot at making it to the finish, as Dale Jr. is going to lead them heading out of the carousel. As Jenson Button in the 22 thinks about going down to the outside to try to take the lead away from Jr. But here comes Patrick Carpane with a great run down to the inside, as they all make their way into turn 7. And now here comes the 99 of Jason Plato, along with Mark Webber, Paul Morris, and I believe Kevin Harvick, pulling into the pit road to get some more fuel so they can finish the race. As Plato, another one of our strongest cars here today, has made his way onto pit road, so he's going to get some more fuel. As we now have 2 laps to go, Dale Earnhardt Jr. leading the field, as Jenson Button is right behind him in second. Now he tried to make a move into turn 1, but he couldn't make it stick, as here they come into the S's. And because of all those drivers who pitted, a couple of Brazilians have made their way into the top 5. Rubens Barrichello is running in 4th, and Tony Kanaan is in 5th. Kanaan is your points leader heading into this race. Will he able to maintain the points lead after this race, as he's finished top 15 in every single race so far this season? He finished 6th at the Charlotte Roval, 13th at COTA, and 5th at Daytona. As the top 3 are getting pretty dicey as they head into the bus stop, is Jenson Button going to try to take the lead away from Junior? No, he will not, as Junior maintains his first position as they head into the carousel for the second to last time. Look at how close the top 3 drivers are. They are under a blanket. But which one of them will end up in victory lane, as Junior continues to lead with Jenson Button 2nd and Patrick Carpane in 3rd? Will the 3 drivers behind the top 3 be able to catch up to our top 3 leaders? As here comes Button. He's on the bumper of the 8. Here they come into turn 8. Dale Earnhardt Jr. still trying to lead him down. Carpane goes down to the inside, but then tucks in behind the 22 of Button. As here they come. They're approaching the white flag. 1 lap to go from Watkins Glen. Can Junior hang on and get the win? The crowd's going to go pretty crazy if he does. Here they come into the 90. Dale Jr. still looking strong. Here comes Carpane down to the inside for second underneath Jenson Button. Is he going to be able to take that position away from Button as they head into the S's? Yes, he will. Carpane up to second. Now, he's got 1 more driver to pass if he wants to win. That is none other than Dale Earnhardt Jr. As they head out of the S's for the final time, Carpane is approaching the 8. As the top 3 are still under a blanket as they head onto the back straightaway for the final time. Here comes Jenson Button trying to reclaim that position. Now Carpane goes down low, and now he's trying to pass Dale Jr. for the lead. This could be for the win. Strong run for the 30 as they come out of the bus stop. He takes the lead. What a move by the 30 of Patrick Carpane to get around the 8 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. But can he hang on, or will Jr. fight back? As Barrichello and Kanaan have caught up to the top 3, as well as the 04 of Jan Magnussen, who's filling in for John Force. Now here comes Junior. He's got a shot heading into turn 7, but it looks like he's not going to make that move. Here they go. Through turns 7 and 8 through the final time, Patrick Carpanier, who hasn't led until now, is your leader. Here comes Button down to the inside for second, trying to get around Junior. And Tony Kanon's trying to get around Barrichello for fourth, but here they come to the checkered flag. Patrick Carpanier, here comes Junior with a run, but he's not going to get there. Carpanier wins at the Glen. What a finish, y'all. Patrick Carpanier, he only led the final lap. And that is the only lap that matters, as he was able to make it from third to first on the final lap and make his way around Dale Earnhardt Jr. for the lead while heading through the bus stop. As drivers like Sammy Swindell and Jason Plato, who had been up front all day, ran out of fuel late in the race, and that put Carpanier in contention to acquire a checkered flag. This is the second race in a row where a Canadian driver gets to go to victory lane, as Alex Tagliani was able to win at Daytona, and now Patrick Carpanier gets to go to victory lane at the Glen. And now it looks like the 30 car might be running out of fuel right after completing the final lap, as he is slow as he heads down the back straightaway, and it looks like he won't have enough fuel for a burnout. But anyways, let's have a look at the move of the race. So the top three are all together heading into turn 1, also known as the 90, and then the 30 of Carpanier goes underneath the 22 of Button, gets a good run, then he takes them side by side for second as they exit turn 1, and then Carpanier clears Button as they head into the S's, and then he's up to second. All he has left is the 8 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. They make their way through the S's and then onto the back straightaway. As you see, the 30 of Patrick Carpanier, he gets closer and closer to the 8 as they head down that back straightaway. And then the 22 of Button goes down to the inside. Then Carpanier goes up to block him. Now here's the move that matters the most. Carpanier goes down to the inside of Dale Jr. through the bus stop, gets a good run. And then as they exit the bus stop, he clears Dale Jr. And he even went through the grass to get around the 8 car, similar to what Dale Jr.'s father, Dale Earnhardt, did at Riverside back in 1987. And then from there on, Carpanier hangs on to the lead and gets the checkered flag. And soon after that, he ran out of fuel on the cooldown lap, so he has been pushed to the start-finish line so he can celebrate in front of the fans. Here are your results for race 4 of the International Motorsports Veteran Season 1 at Watkins Glen. Patrick Carpanier gets the W. Dale Earnhardt Jr., who Carpanier passed on the final lap, finishes second. Jenson Button third. Rubens Barrichello fourth. Tony Kanaan with his second consecutive 5th place finish. And how about Jan Magnussen? An impressive 6th place finish in his first IMV race, filling in for John Force. Then Villeneuve, Kurt Busch, who came back from that lap 4 spin to finish 8th. Then Biffle and Lowndes complete the top 10. Then it's Bourdais, Hornish, Kenseth, Kimmel, Alonso, Plato, Swindell, Catherine Legg, Mark Webber, and Tony Stewart. Our pole sitter, who did not lead a single lap today, he completes the top 20. Then it's Paul the Dude Morris, Kevin Harvick, Valentino Rossi, Juan Pablo Montoya, Scott Dixon, Kimi Räikkönen, Felipe Massa, Garth Tander, Scott Sharp, and Steve Kinzer completing the top 30. Then it's Cornell, Ingold, Pruitt, Tagliani, Gordon, Jeff Gordon that is, Elio Castroneves, Jimmy Johnson, Robbie Gordon, who was involved in that one crash, and then Dario Franchitti and Doug Coletta with another poor run rounds out the field. Now let's look at our point standings after race 4. Tony Kanaan continues to lead the points with Sam Hornish Jr. and Fernando Alonso still in 2nd and 3rd respectively. And then Jacques Villeneuve returns to the top 5 in the standings as he moves up to 4th from 8th. Then it's Plato and Lowndes, and then Patrick Carpanier moves up from 17th to 7th in points with his win at the Glen. And then it's Bourdais, Kimmel, and Barrichello completing the top 10 in the standings. Then it's Garth Tander, Kevin Harvick, Mark Webber, the race 1 winner, Dale Earnhardt Jr., who came up short today. Then Steve Kinzer, Robbie Gordon, John Force. By the way, Jan Magnussen is earning points for Force while he's out. And then it's Räikkönen, Button, and Kenseth completing the top 20. Then it's Alex Tagliani, Paul Morris, Greg Biffle, Sammy Swindell, Tony Stewart, Kurt Busch, Elio Castroneves, Scott Dixon, Valentino Rossi, and Scott Pruitt completing the top 30. Then it's Doug Coletta in 31st, and a 4-way tie for 32nd as Dario Franchitti, Jimmy Johnson, Juan Pablo Montoya, and Catherine Legg all have 58 points. Then a 2-way tie for 36th between Jeff Gordon and Russell Ingall, each with 47 points. Then it's Cornell, Massa, and Sharp completing the standings. So thank you guys for watching race 4 of the International Motorsports Veteran Season 4 from Watkins Glen. Be sure to be on the lookout for race 5, which will be at Las Vegas. This will be the 2nd oval race of the season. So congratulations to Patrick Carpanier for getting the win at the Glen. Thank you guys for watching. This is Jonathan M. signing out. Goodbye and have a blessed day.